called the Fulton House. The Fulton House. Oldest building on our tour, completed back in 1898. It's been there for quite some time. Now, at the time of its completion, it did not look like that. No windows, no balconies, just a giant pink box. It was used as a freezer warehouse in the 1920s. Chicago was the meatpacking capital of the United States during that time, so lots of raw frozen meat stored inside of this building. And then it went through a renovation in the 1970s by an architect named Harry Weese to turn it into a residential property. I don't know why that was the logical next step, but here we are. Now, while they were doing the renovation, they found out that the walls were actually stuffed full of horsehair and cork. It was early day insulation for that freezer warehouse. It's been replaced with modern day insulation nowadays. Just in front of it here, another creation by Harry Weese. These are the river cottages. Notice the sailboat-shaped roofs. Harry Weese was a big fan of sailing. I talked to an architect the other day on my boat who was drinking buddies with Harry Weese, because I used to lump this in with postmodernism. And he said, if Harry Weese heard you saying that, he'd be really mad. So we have to change it. He wanted to be known as a modernist. But either way, very whimsical style with these townhomes. Notice how these townhomes are facing towards the river. Now, that was seen as kind of strange. Even in the late 80s, facing your structures towards the river was not very common. Still kind of a dirty river. It had started to improve, but we weren't there quite yet. Now, if you take a look here to the right-hand side, this is the East Bank Club High-End Fitness Center. Membership there will cost you right around $200 per month with a $500 initiation fee. So very expensive treadmill access. But notice how this is the back side of the building, facing away from the river. It was completed in the early 80s, facing away. Late 80s, you start to see a couple facing towards. And now if we take a look here to the left-hand side, we have the Kinsey Park townhomes. Much more modern-day townhomes, completed in the early 2000s, and you have the balconies, the patios, the trees, the lawn, the flowers, the sidewalk, all facing towards the river. So you can see how much has changed in recent years and how much this river has improved since the early days of Chicago.